Hello, and welcome to my playground. This is the Mad Chemist Church, or Church McGurch, and welcome to Madman's Review. This is another, we're doing Abiotic Factor today. This is another open world survival game. I believe it's up to 6 people. Kind of make your character, design all kinds of fun little things. Not the best graphics in the world, but it's just the style of this game. I kind of like the way this looks. So we will, I guess, there we go. So let's load in. Of course, 55 hours. This game has been a lot of fun. And I'm kind of sad that I got to the end of it so quickly. Like 55 hours for kind of like an open world survival is pretty early. There's a handful of things I haven't done, but they're just trivial little things that I could do some other time. So
I perceive a distinct lack of snacks.
yeah, there's a little thing telling me I'm hungry, so I'm gonna eat some soup. Everybody knows we'd love some soup. Sort that. So this is kind of my mobile kind of a base setup where I've kind of moved myself because this I've found is the safest area. There's a toilet, all these different water coolers, some alien water, different storage for all the different kinds of items you can get. And then kind of these secret chests that give you pretty decent items. When you open them, you can then take them, bring them back to your base and decorate. There's a couple here. And then like little statues, they're little figures you can put up. Repair kits. Personal teleporters. Repairing different weapons. Shock spear, laser sword, laser pistol, the deatomizer, a hammer for repairing some techno drill, a teleporter. So the teleporters are linked to these workbenches, so I have a workbench at another location that I can then take this teleporter and just teleport. And it makes trips back and forth between areas pretty easy. Lights, obviously first aid. Got different things in here for different, situations. Repair bench, destruct bench. The whole crafting is done here. This is everything. And kind of how the crafting works here is when you get a new item, a little blueprint will pop up, and then you kind of play this little mini game, which you click a bunch of different things, and then if you get it correct, you learn the recipe. If you don't, then you just kind of try again until you learn all the recipes. But it's kind of sectioned out into like all the different things. Turrets, all kinds of fun stuff, and then a little water bottle. I have a lot of my foods in here, and then just other random things that decay. You can put it in the refrigerator, keep it from spoiling. There's some things in here that don't really spoil, but I just have them in here. Queen bee, obviously to make a beehive. Military cot. Tolerable. I didn't really ever build me a bed, because that's one of the things you can build. All the different kinds of weapons you can get. Fishing rod. I didn't really do much fishing. Grenades, ammunition, the axe. There's some trees in an area you can chop. And of course all your statuses, all your buffs, and then debuffs. If you look, I am wearing a hazmat suit, so of course it gives me a debuff. Crystal vial, 2 different trinkets, a shield, and then your armor, and then kind of like a head-mounted light, kind of tells you your weight, your armor. Wristwatch, I never found a wristwatch to go in there, but you press T and voila, you have a wristwatch. So I'm not 100% sure if they've implemented that yet. Pager, obviously, really only useful during cooperative play. And then my hacker, tier 6, this is the highest you can get at the moment, and it's pretty much used for hacking things around the facility. Show this. On you crafting, as you can see, there's only a handful of things you can do without a workbench. Kind of like a questline map, showing you places that you haven't been, or you haven't gotten any. I don't need that. You haven't gotten any notes from. So I've been there, but I don't have any notes for it yet. And then other things. This is just kind of where it keeps notes. Other thing is your gate book. Shows you your soup recipes, what you have made, what you haven't made, what it takes to make it. Emails, all the emails you've read. Fish, if you've got any fish. Like I said, I haven't done any fishing. And then any other notes you found. As you can tell, IS-10 tells you glowing shard, gives you the dossier gives you a little registry on what it is, and then a picture. Obviously, this is a ICP kind of clone. Here's all the enemies. Little dossier on all the different enemies you fought. And there's a handful that I haven't received. Like, I haven't found the computer that tells you about these yet. People. There's a couple people I haven't found their dossier yet. Theories, other more little dossiers. This is all things like you'll find computers throughout the plant, and then you read it. You click on the email and you read it, and you download pictures, and you get these little pictures and stuff. And it kind of just tells you the story. You see, to be continued. I've reached the end of the dark energy chapter. So as always, these sandbox games, they always continue. This is where you started. Your traits. I'm a transkinetic researcher. I'm painfully oblivious. You stand out to your, because I'm always a tank, I took this. You attract enemies, so I'm not really going to be sneaking. But I'm also a buff brainiac. I'm self-defense. And I'm a hobbyist chef. So you can see I've maxed out my sprinting, my strength. Not really much in throwing or sneaking. I've maxed out my blunt, my sharp. Not really so much with guns, accuracy, reloading. More fortitude. I don't get hit a lot. So I've maxed out my fortitude. I don't really craft as much as I need to be crafting. Same thing with like construction. I don't construct. First aid, same kind of thing. Cooking. Agriculture, just kind of been just... And then obviously I don't have a single point into the fishing. But I'm set up in this place. Battery charger for things that require battery, repair, powered. You'll find these wall sockets. You can then put like extension cords and power strips to extend how far you can go. Like the refrigerator requires power. Then at night, all the power shuts off. So I'm getting tired. And then I have these two batteries so that when the power shuts off, all of this stuff stays on. The lights don't require power. Magic. This is an X-ray tower. Keeps some bad guys away. One in particular that I really don't like. So I have a couple around. So let's lie down and do the little mini game. It's not bad. It's just a simple little... And there's a bunch of little mini games all throughout the entire game itself. There's also some radioactive stuff here. This container keeps all stuff from being... From the... Like, so if you had it just like a normal container, the radioactivity would be coming out. As you can see, this container blocks 20%. Whereas this container blocks 100%. So now if I come out here, shock trap, so that somebody comes up to my door, it'll shock them. Water purifier. This is what you do with a queen bee. You can get some beehives. They're alien bees. Get some honey and some beeswax. Bathrooms in case I need them. If you go to the bathroom, it's another mini game. There's also sinks that refill slowly over time. You can see that one's empty, but this is this one. And at the sink, you can either drink the water, wash yourself because you do get dirty and you require cleaning up, or you can put them into like your container and then put it into here or into one of these and save it for later. But what you can also do is you can walk over here, get this tainted water, walk over to the water purifier, and bam! You now have fresh consumable water. Another shock trap, my container for stuff like that. Here's another one. I have a circuit back there, hooked it up to this, extended it out, and now I have my portable stoves, which I have some pots for soup, some pans for grilling, chef's counter for making things like pies, pastas, an oven. This is a radioactive refrigerator, so all this stuff is radioactive, blocks 100% of it, keeps it cold, so it doesn't spoil. Another refrigerator, only blocks 25%, but I have nothing radioactive in here, keeps it cold. So you got some ice cream, some milk sacks, different kinds of things you can get throughout the game. Here I have not unperishables. You can buy these different kinds of foods. You can find these at the military guys. You can find canned peas around. You can find different plants around. Salt can just be found around. Rice. You make these soup bowls, and then you'll make soup and you'll scoop it out. You can get 4 soup bowls. 4 soups worth. Then I have all my power stuff here. So my laser sword and the deatomizer does not require electricity. It requires laser power, which then I'd come over here, grab this, recharge these, and then I can use them. And then this is a portal toilet. Say you don't need your feces anymore for fertilizer. You just sit here, boop, it disappears, so you don't have to collect it, you don't have to deal with it. Auto salvager, so you don't have to click. It just auto salvages for you. And that's pretty much my base setup. Like I said, I'm not a huge base builder. I built in this area specifically because there's these turrets that are friendly to me. There's some dead people there. Yeah, I chopped up their bodies. So now they're just... So when you defeat somebody, you can chop up their enemies, you can chop up their bodies, and sometimes they'll drop other goods, but they'll also drop like skulls and arms that you need for recipes. And what's nice about this area is that I have a turret there that will actually shoot things that attack me, and every once in a while you get raided by different enemies throughout the zone. So there's a turret there, there's a turret there, so I can kind of kite them into this area, or into this area, and then these guys will shoot at them, and then I don't have to fight them. Another X-ray tower here. See, took care of this guy. Let me pick that up. Different seeds, which then you can take and plant. None of my things are flashing, so I'm good to go. You can check the water level back there. Good. Go over here. Again, different things. Check the water level. We're good. Then you collect that. And that's where you can make some of the recipes. So you can see my screen's kind of like... almost looks like it's glitching. That's because I'm holding something or I'm near something that's got radiation that's leaking through. So you kind of get like this buzzing kind of staticky effect. So let's see. You also get a backpack, which goes up here. And I have the long jump backpack, which is basically an upgrade to the jetpack. I also have some NVGs. So when I press to activate my night vision, Or if you had like a flashlight, it would activate that. So instead of a flashlight, I'm upgraded to night vision. Then to make jumps and more difficult things, I have the dangling gravity cube. Obviously, it makes it easier for me to jump. When I fall, I don't take damage.
Anyone else getting a bit hungry?
Of course, he's hungry again. That's another thing. Your stats do drop pretty quickly. So I have made up some food, and then like you can just eat raw. If you need to. Let's take out. So let's stack just one. Let's take out that. Cook raw potato. So that's kind of my agriculture. It's the base of the little things just around. You can make this kind of portable toilet. It doesn't require power. You get a little mini game, and then when you're done, once enough's collected, you can actually collect that, and then use it as fertilizer. Let's see. The other nice thing is that some of these have upgrades. You can go to upgrade bench, and as you can see, I have gotten all these ones, which are nice because they tell you bench will suppress all portal storms, this bench will take less damage, heals you while next to it, will auto transfer. That's why all of this stuff's right here. It's because I can just craft willy-nilly while standing there. And it's the same thing from over here. You're still cooking. Let's see, you're still cooking. Same thing with over here. This bench has been upgraded, transports items, so it'll just boom. Oh, ding. Take my food. Nom nom nom. Boom. So then there's a good handful of different kinds of enemies. The vast majority are going to be the aliens and the soldiers. Here's one of the ICPs, the mirror. You go in there and touch the mirror and it takes you to a different world, which kind of does kind of like a little mini game. There's a portal over here. This is another portal I've activated, takes you basically to another world. These all kind of take you to different worlds. Just think of, if you don't know what SCP is, go look it up. Amazing series of kind of funny random things. This is what the jetpack's good for. But these are all not ICP. These are all SCPs. And then these are kind of like in some random invading force. And then you can cut them up, get some bio scrap. Go in here. Those guys have like a little... Those ones in particular have a little electricity thing on their back. And so when they jump, they shock you. And then these are storage crates. You see, I can pick it up, but it has a 47% chance of breaking. But once I pick it up and it's successful, it's 100%. I pick it up every time. And then if I wanted to, I could just pick this up, see how many different inventory slots it has, and then take off with it. The current backpack I have is not the best backpack. It only has a capacity of 30. Let's see, there's another right here. Wash myself because I did just kill 2 things and chop them up. There's another refrigerator if I needed another refrigerator. Coffee machine. You can collect money along the way, and then purchase things out of the vending machines, like a cup of coffee. And of course, what the coffee obviously does is it keeps you awake longer after consumption, and it gives you a little bit of water to your thirst. It'll also restore your stamina, and you get to keep the empty mug, which then can be turned into a weapon. That's another thing. All the alien pieces are radioactive, which is why I'm always wearing a hazmat suit, because the hazmat reduces all radioactivity, I believe, by 90%. So this very, very low radiation just doesn't affect me. So now it's nighttime. At nighttime, all the power goes off. That's why I have those batteries. And the security bots start coming out. There's also increased chances of enemies spawning. So here's one of the robots. He's coming out. He sees me. Take him out. Energy pistol. Lock. Now there's all different kinds of enemies. I haven't seen any of the soldiers yet, but pretty much anywhere is a good spot. Ow. You can pretty much build anywhere you want. As long as there's enough power, you won't have any issues, because batteries do run out and they have to be recharged. So you can't just put a battery down and everything runs off the battery like this. They fall, and they drop a very specific CPU, depending on which robot.
All vacant perforations.
Chop this up.
2, 1. Reset.
And he drops a bunch of stuff. These ones in particular drop a jailbroken CPU and a bunch of different drinks. So it'll take a day or two in game. Also at night, these anomalies, then you get a little glass vial and you scoop them up. I don't know if you can hear that, but there are some soldiers nearby. And the armor I have, what it allows me to do is it allows me to see. I'm gonna fall. Oop, there's an invisible dude. Which the one crystal I have in my inventory. This guy right here makes them not invisible. It also allows me to recharge my items slowly over time as long as they're equipped or in my inventory. So instead of having to recharge things, they'll just slowly recharge just over time. He died too quick. You can see down in the left-hand corner. Oop, guy saw me. I have my body, and the more red that goes, the more chance I am of like taking damage and having effects like I'm now bleeding. And bleeding will slowly kill me. I'm trying to see. Yeah, there's some soldiers. They have guns. I'm bleeding, which is not good. So what I'm gonna do is hack this real quick. Just to show off hacking. And then, yeah, unfortunately there's no minigame to the hacking, but say like I'm done, my inventory's full, I just boop, and I'm back. Put put that on the charging station, which is much faster than the cube I have. Consume that. And the bleeding's gone away. Power's come back on to the facility. So there's auto stacking, so all you gotta do is just find which one you have stuff in and click Q. And it'll just automatically take it for you. Where I have the mug. I don't know if it stacks either. I don't have any mugs because I turned the last couple mugs I had into grenades. Because that's mainly what the mug is for. It is a... you turn it into a mug-nade. Okay, I have that there. So that's just a small section. I don't want to show too much of everything.
There has been a complete containment failure.
Because there's a lot of areas, there's a lot of content. I don't want to spoil too much. I just kind of want to show you what's capable, what there is, what you can do, what you can get, what enemies there are, kind of my thoughts. Like, I love this game. It's silly, it's goofy. Here's one of the computers you can get. You find these computers, they'll have attachments, you can pull them up. That's where you get the pictures. Gives you the story. Then kind of gives you some little context, like, yeah, there's zombies in this. And I think normally there's a guy in here, but I think I killed him and he hasn't respawned yet. But there's all kinds of things you can find, like, you'll find these kitchens. There it is. And then I can, like, wash myself up since I fought. Then there's these events, and when these events happen, fun stuff happens and can spawn. Like, during this one in particular, if you don't have your radiation suit on, during the radiation event, you can die from radiation very quickly. It's another reason why I always wear the hazmat suit. The other one is a spore leak. These alien spores fill the area, which if you're wearing a hazmat suit, again, no effect because the spores can't get you. This one, there's really not much to it other than a visibility. This is another area. There's a soldier over there, I think. Yeah, he's a grenade soldier. Don't mess with him. This is another area that leads you to like a zombie apocalyptic. This is also why I have this spear. It's because it kind of arcs out. There's an arcade game here. This takes you to an actual secret level. These, play them, plays a recording. Another one, you find these crates, you break them, you get free resources. I don't want to do that. But there's all these portals. The zombies are, yeah, no. The zombies are kind of one of the worst ones. They're super easy. This one takes you to a zombie apocalypse scenario. Some planet, some Earth somewhere. So definitely SCP kind of level stuff. And then there's other ones that you can get into. I forget exactly which ones. But then you can kind of like get info and background on them. This one's bad. Like, this one sucks because you can't see. Makes it hard to see. But you can end these early, otherwise it'll take the entire day, or you can end it early by finding a event ending button. And they're kind of scattered all throughout the area. Like, throughout the entirety of the game. Like, the one I need for this is pretty far, I'm gonna say. Check-ins, these are kind of respawn points. There's carts and cars and things you can hack and then take. There's all these kind of structures. Like the military, these military people come in and they'll set up these structures and then you can take them over as your base. Some of them will have emails like this in it. Yeah, and there's all kinds of trinkets, there's all kinds of doodads, there's all different kinds of just fun things that you can do. All different kinds of builds you can make and just have fun. Like, this is, you're in an office, basically. There's a couple friendly NPCs that you can trade with. That get you some necessary items that you normally couldn't get anywhere else. Like, I can just go through this portal. Come through here, yep. There's a couple bad guys. Take care of that. There's another robot. Like I said, during the day, they're fine. Night, they come out and walk around and they'll patrol and they'll attack. Here's another friendly NPC. They'll trade stuff with you. Then there's also these trams that take you all different parts. Well, that's inbound. There's also maps. I don't know if you can access the map from here. But there's maps. And when you find one, you can walk over and you can grab it. And it kind of tells you you are here. And so I can see that because that's what my armor does. My armor set bonuses, it allows me to see enemies through walls. But yeah, you can go from each level and you can pick up a map. And then you can kind of find the map. I'm trying to remember what the map button is. But then you can pull it up and just be like, oh, okay, I'm here. I need to head this direction to get to this place. There it is. So, yeah. Office sector, level 1, level 3. You can go through. There's a soldier called a rat. When they die, they drop random material pieces. So nothing really too interesting. You can find these vending machines. There's normal ones and then soda ones. So you can get food or drink. There's another friendly NPC up there that you can trade with. So this game, lots of fun SCP vibes. Fun different portals and stuff you can go through that take you to just different dimensions. Everything is kind of destructible. There's also this like group of people from a different area that have like essentially magic, and they also start spawning in areas after you've gotten to that area. There's a drink one. Every day it changes what you can buy or what's available, so it's always good to check them on a daily basis. There's one of the chests. Once you have the item that's required, you can open it, and it generally gives you some pretty interesting stuff or some end game. It also gives you end game, like armor, like good armor or end game armor. There's one of the creatures that. This is one of the creatures that only spawns during the. This event. missed. As you can see, it sucks. Get too close. I'm trying to use the range of the spear. And it does an illusion thing, which... Ow. Oh, now I'm bleeding. I die. It's hard to tell because these things... Yeah, and with this gear, it shows me which one is him and not the illusion. Got him. The only other bad thing is that these things also have a tendency to lose items in walls. And I'm bleeding. I don't know if I can find something to make a bandage out of. Here we go. Chance to break. 21% chance to break. Of course. Can I... Okay. Chance to break. 47% chance to break. Okay, screw it. Did I get any cloth? No. There we go. Crafting. Gonna be crafty here. And heal myself real quick. So it gave me porcelain shards. There's the guy. This is the guy that can be stopped by the x-rays. It makes him drop the little thing.
I can feel my blood sugar falling.
Yeah. Feel your blood sugar fall. That's when he drops that stuff. But there's another enemy that you use the x-ray on. It as well makes him drop a specific item that you need. So, charging stations. These ones don't require you to build them or require wall sockets, so they're kind of nice to have. Again, they only charge weapons that use electricity, not power, or laser. Hit that, boom. This here is actually one of the first portals you go into. Kind of has like a Silent Hill. But that's kind of where I'm going to end it. Couple other things is like, yeah, you can get these weapons, but only the basic ones can be used. You can also get weapons from the aliens, antique shotgun, different kinds of things you can find in different areas. But then, like, the sniper rifle requires a bio-mimic lock, which requires you to level up your stuff, and then you get the ability to, like, replace one of your arms with a military guy's arm, which bypasses the lock. So, do this one more time. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Sitting down and laying down like this does give you a little bit of rest. I keep hitting spacebar instead of W. But yeah, just laying down will give you some rest while you lay there, but it's not as quick, nearly as quick as that. And then washing also prevents you from becoming contaminated and be getting sick, and sick really just kind of makes you throw up and you lose food and water, which then you go through a lot of resources pretty quickly. So I always run in here and use this to wash up, and the other stuff for drinking. All the stuff I have stored for drinking. Other than that, that's pretty much, these are the weapons you can find. This is kind of the weapons you can... No. These are the kind of the weapons you can create. You see, you have crossbows, makeshift pistols, pistol with flashlight, the mugnade, thermite molotov. You also, if you wanted to, can do something like magic. This is a tech scepter, so basically you would use it, you'd like send a bolt out. Later on you get like a rocket launcher and a deatomizer. You can get like an impact hammer, the laser katana, which I have, pipe cudgels, darts for throwing, quills for like the you can get like enemy machine gun, the alien machine guns, carbon pick, different kinds of shields, different ammo for different weapons, bait, different kinds of grenades. You get like a net launcher. I don't really use the net launcher because it never really, it helps in the very, very beginning, but yeah, but after a while it just becomes useless. Yeah, then Exor flail, different kinds of armor, different backpacks, all kinds of fun things, health, your different kinds of power and light, all your different tools. You can paint, glow sticks, you can crack them and throw them. Walkie-talkies, so if you guys aren't on Discord, you can talk to each other. There's different kinds of storage. I haven't upgraded to the large storage yet, just because I haven't had any need. Signs, heaters, because it gets cold at night. The makeshift bed. All kinds of fun stuff that you can do. Definitely a game worth checking out. I highly recommend this game. I've had so much fun with it. There's a couple things I haven't done that I would like to go back to when I have some spare time and just kind of like explore, because there's a couple portals that I haven't been in that's just kind of like a solve the puzzle and then exit just to say I've done it. So but that's pretty much been Abiotic Factor, which is a play on words of the Abiotic Factors. But that's where I'm going to end this. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your time. Please like, comment, subscribe, and let me know how I'm doing. Let me know if you've played this game. Let me know what your builds are, you know. Just let me know what you think of the game and if you're waiting for the next update. And then, you know, like, comment, subscribe. Helps me, helps the channel, helps everybody find my reviews in case they're looking to get this for that you and your friends, because I highly recommend this game for you with multiple people. As you saw, I was that transkinetic researcher, but there's also other classes that you can pick, like one is just chef, so it's a pretty goofy, fun game. But it lets people know. It helps me. Like I said, I do this, like I've said in multiple videos, I do this for friends and family, but I want everybody to see this information. I want to see everybody to see this and just get to know, because so many reviews out there, you get little cuts and clips here and there, but you really don't get to see what the game has to offer. You just kind of get like a half second of somebody stabbing something, and then and then you're like, oh, well, now I know to expect this big thing that's going to throw me halfway across the room. And as where this one, I had no idea. I jumped in and I got thrown halfway across the room, and I'm like, what the hell that just happened? But again, thank you for your time, and as always, you be you, you stay you, and most importantly, adventure on.